to, I don't know how I shut this thing off, but I am trying to show you my cooking my damn grits. And this is really getting to be a little bit frustrating here. But anyway, the water is boiling very furiously. And I'm showing you, hopefully, a much better view while also not pulling any of these other cords down so that I don't break my ring light. Not that it's close enough to me to do any good. Okay, I'm going to turn the light, the fire down a little bit, and then I'm going to put this cookbook underneath this computer so that you can get a better view of my cooking here. I apologize for this having to be a part 2, but you know what? That's just how it is, especially when you have the kind of equipment that you can't edit on. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rest of, this is mostly fat and juices from this pork, but most of the flavor with meat tends to be in the fat anyway, so I'm going to, of course you have to be really careful when you're doing this directly over a hot stove because the metal will heat up. And as you can see, I'm not using hot lid or anything like that. And as far as the green beans go, I'm going to wait until after I add the grits. Now, always got to have this right away. And I am, instead of measuring, one thing I don't do with my grits, I don't measure them. And I'll tell you why. Part of it is because I've been cooking them for quite some time now. Since even before 9/11, I've been cooking grits. I've been cooking grits since I discovered them in Los Angeles. Now, I am going to just go ahead and pour this bag. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cursory look at it and make sure that there's no insect life, and there's not. That's good. So, and you see what I'm doing right here. I am just pouring. This feels like it's a good bit now. Now I'm going to use this plastic wannabe wooden spoon and I'm going to stir it. And how I know that I've got the right measure proportion of grits to water, I never read the directions if it does show it, and it does have a suggestion in here. But I find that these instructions almost always make for much runnier grits, take much longer to cook, and end up being very cream-of-wheatish, very thin, very slimy, very wet, it's a consistency that I don't like. And neither does my mother. And I almost always cooked for myself and her when I'm here, even though there was a time when she thought she hated grits. But what you do is when you just pour it in and you stir it, you can tell when you have the right proportion. It feels kind of sturdy the way it hits the hand and the spoon. Now, always keep your spatter screen ready because when it starts spitting, you can tell. Now, it's okay to start putting in some of the green beans. You can't see what I'm doing on camera. Here, I'm going to grab. You do this really carefully once the spattering is already starting, because as soon as you lift this, it's going to get there any exposed skin. So, yeah. Don't, they say how if you're naked you shouldn't fry bacon. Well, guess what? You shouldn't cook grits either. You can quote me on that. Okay, now that I have the thing on there, I will very carefully stir this in. Then I'm going to put the spatter thing back on there. I gotta think, do I need to put another spoonful of these? And yeah, I might as well. It's a good way to use your leftovers. You know, the vegetables make it maybe a little bit healthier. Okay, now it's a good idea to turn the fire down. I have it actually on high, and it's really not a good idea to put the fire on high. You don't want them to burn. Now you're testing for, the nice thing about starting off with a fairly high percentage of grits to water is it doesn't take forever to thicken up. Sometimes if you start off with too much water and it's like taking forever to get thick, one of the shortcuts I do is I get some more grits and I pour in like maybe even just a teaspoon or two into that, and that will thicken it up if I'm impatient. And you don't want it to, if you have to take too long to cook your grits, what can end up happening is they can get really soft and slimy. Yeah. You know, for me, texture is very, very, very important. If something is too creamy, it doesn't appeal to me. So, oh, and this is not what you think it is. Oh, Tabby boy knows I'm filming you. Watch, he's not gonna come in here. Oh, and the thing is, I have two. You can't see this, but I have two cords right here, and they're an effective barricade. And Tabby boy has totally left the kitchen. He's like saying, "I don't want any part of your video. It's bad enough you got me to turn around." He's like, "Fuck this." They don't want to be exploited. Now I can smell the herbs that are in this. Uh, I would like to give you a good view of this. What do you think of this? And see how it's thickening up already? And you also, as the grains of ground up corn uh, boil, you see they swell up and they probably increase to, oh, I don't know, maybe 4 times the size or something. I don't know. I imagine you could take a look at them uh, under a microscope and that would totally answer you. Now, I'm going to turn the fire off, and then I'm going to go reach behind me and I'm going to get out some butter. You know what? Before I do that, I better go and move my ring light here so that I don't pour the cord out. And now I have to very carefully step over the cord here. The last thing I want to do is pull my computer off onto the floor. Okay. Oh, okay. My mother likes this home churned butter imitation spread, and me, I like the real butter. So I'm going to, just because it looks better, I'm going to put a wee little bit of real butter on the very top of the grits. And that is pretty much it. This is my grits, and it's got a little bit of pork in it, and a little bit of green beans, and some rosemary, and some thyme. And I might rustle up some more leftover meats to throw along with it, or something. You could make scrambled eggs with it. Lots of things you can do with grits. And I'm not even of Southern heritage, so it's something I discovered late in life. But it's fun, filling, warm thing to be eating, especially this time of year when it's cold and yucky out and stuff. So if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you like me and my channel and you haven't yet, subscribe and hit the bell so it looks like it's ringing. And that way you won't miss anything I post. As my tabby boy runs away, that sneaky bastard. I will see you in a couple of days. Bye.